Hey everyone, this is pretty terrific, and as all usual, I'm Chris.
Hi, usual Chris. I am Marie.
Hi.
How are you?
It is
Hello.
pleasing to meet your acquaintance, Earth species.
I too am not a robot.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird day. I know it's rainy here and a little bit gross, and it
Yeah.
can put a damper on your mood. It can make it a little tough to appreciate things.
A damper.
Damper.
A damper on your mood because it's wet outside.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was an intentional play on words, but
It wasn't, but in hindsight, it's pretty clever.
you know what? I just want to ask some questions. Why do we associate so many negative things with moisture? Like a wet blanket or,
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, that's my one example.
Well, but that's a fine example.
A damper.
Yeah,
right.
a damper.
Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
I think because historically speaking, water is kind of the enemy of civilization, while being also its lifeblood. But if you have a shelter and water's getting in, like that's a terrible time, and it's really hard to prevent, right?
Well, it's to paraphrase Homer Simpson. To water, the cause of and solution to all life's problems.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I'm a fan, personally.
Oh, I'm a huge
fan.
I think we discussed that at one point, but yeah, I'm still, especially. All right, I'll talk about this. The winter, at least in the Northeast, where it actually gets cold, tap water is so good in the winter. It is amazing, and I can't stop drinking it. And you drink it to I know there are certain afflictions you can get by drinking too much water, and so there should be a limit. But I don't want to stop. I just want to keep going.
So it's colder in the winter?
Yeah, it's colder.
That's awesome. I enjoy very cold water sometimes, not always.
Yeah.
But yeah, people who drink other beverages, I challenge them to present to me a drink more refreshing than extremely cold water. Although one time I've had extremely cold milk at a hotel.
Oh.
And I was like, what? It was, wow. Okay, so milk is pretty good.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wouldn't say like it's super cold coming out the tap. Like it's not like ice water, but it is, a little bit warmer than ice water. It's just right. I often think that ice water is too much. I don't usually ask for ice in my water when I'm at a
Interesting.
place.
I go for the cold. I enjoy it. Maybe because I live with Ben and everything must be iced for that man. But yeah, I'm all about that shit.
Yeah.
Bring on the ice. Water. It's pretty terrific.
It is pretty terrific.
What can we get in touch with Water's advertising board or something, and we could cut so many really excellent commercials for water.
Yeah, I'm actually imagining taking an existing like beef commercial, like one from the 90s, and just making it identical, but just say water. It's what for dinner?
Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum,
ba-da-dum. Oh, that's it. Yes, that one. That song just kind of makes me think of. Yeah.
Okay.
And I know that song is great, and it makes me think of like enterprising pilgrims, I guess, like putting together a homestead and. And do the same thing, but with water.
I'm just giving you a soundtrack to your life.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. And basically, I would use maybe the same imagery, play that music, use the same imagery, and just say like, "Hey, water." Maybe every once in a while, I'll have a picture of like a stream, but not much more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water.
Water.
It's what's for dinner.
You're poor.
Actually, I am, with the upcoming water wars, I imagine water will be a luxury for a lot of people, and the rest of us will be stuck drinking Brondo. So, it's got what plants crave.
Yeah, there is a lot of post-apocalyptic lore about the lack of water, and
yes,
there's a lot of it, right? Because obviously there's like
because it's a thing.
Well, it's a thing. It's not a thing, right now in America.
ish.
Ish.
Actually, there's like, okay, I don't want to go into it because it's not terrific.
Yeah.
But let me just say, there is a large portion of the population that doesn't have access to fresh or running water or potable water, let's say.
Okay.
Like an unfortunate amount of people.
Gotcha. That's not terrific
But
at all.
everyone's doing like a square dance.
Yeah, it's like the biggest
yes.
square dance in the world. It's like
Yes.
fields and
All of
fields.
Yes. It's like people rising out of fields in Iowa and they're like marching towards what's next to Iowa.
Possibly one of the states where they don't have access to running water, you know, I don't know.
Potable water.
Potable.
Yes. Which is like, how mean is that? Because water is beautiful to look at and it feels nice on your hands. And then you're like, I cannot drink you. That, ouch.
Yeah. Well, it depends is it a bacterial thing or is it, you know, heavy metals? Because if it's bacterial, you just boil it and let it cool off.
Porque no los dos.
Yeah, and both, and it's a little less fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid non-potable water. What are you up to?
Have you ever been under a boil water advisory anywhere you've lived?
Never.
Yeah.
What happens?
Well, they just tell you that, hey, your water supply might be tainted, so you should boil water for a little while to make sure that you don't have any bacteria. Yeah.
But what about showering?
Well, that's fine as long as you're not drinking it, usually.
But like, you know, it's a shower. Water's going everywhere. And
Well, usually you're not drinking it straight up.
okay. Sometimes, okay.
Sometimes you're just gulping it down.
Well, okay. Please don't judge me.
I won't.
We've known each other a very long time, haven't we?
Prejudge and engaged. Got it.
Okay, here we go. Sometimes I'll just like smile into the shower and have the shower clean my teeth for me.
Yeah, that's not that weird.
Okay, it seems weird. Seems like I'm like, why don't I just get a water pick if that's what I'm after?
Well, it's probably looks pretty funny. Like if someone was to videotape you doing that, you'd be like into the shower.
Yes. I just like do. Well, it's like after I wash my face anyway, so I'm like already looking into the shower and I'm like, hey, get some of that in them teethers.
Yeah.
Wow, I've revealed so much of myself. And you know what? Sharing is terrific.
Sharing is terrific. Well, you share something and you never know. Like everyone's always afraid that maybe the other person's gonna judge them and then be like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't think about that person the same way anymore." But
yeah,
oftentimes, usually when I share something weird, the other person's like, "Me too. I've never talked about that before."
It's helpful. Yes, sharing is helpful, and feeling connected is good. Terrific, I would say.
I would say too.
Also, I just want to say that like. Maybe some people take like really cool looking sensual showers or something. But if you were just observing someone taking a business as usual shower, I don't think any of it looks that particularly good.
No, you're just kind of scrubbing down.
And you're naked and you got soap in your hair and
No, you're not like throwing your locks back and
the water.
I actually would love to know what the direction is for people who are in like shower commercials. Like, what do you like? You know, look like you're feeling sensually about this water, and throw your head back and move languidly. I don't know how I would describe how those people move.
Slower.
That's, I think, probably
slower, or just like here. I'm gonna direct you. Let's see if it helps. Okay, Chris, you have not had a chance to be in a shower for like 3 months. And this water is not only the tastiest damn water you've ever had, it is the most refreshing. Every molecule is reaching out to soothe and comfort you after a long torment. And all I'm asking for you is to show your appreciation for the water that is nourishing and cleansing you.
That is some dang good direction.
Go.
Oh my God. No, why aren't you a director, man?
I don't know. Let's do that. Well, I tried. And then you were like, didn't do it.
Well,
Wait, do I
I'm
have to
not
do this?
in a shower, and
Action.
if I do that, I'm gonna knock this microphone again. I'm just gonna. It's
Okay.
gonna.
Okay.
I do it all the time, and it's just gonna be all day.
Just the water is nourishing you, and you just want to express your thanks and appreciation.
I love it, and I'm gonna next time I take a shower, I'm gonna think that. I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah.
if I was thinking that, and I was like trying to show off some shower product, let's see what that would be like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the product is water. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
No, I'm imagining that music with people sensually taking showers like in a shampoo ad. Now I'm just thinking of an adult film with that music in it in a shower. It's weird. That's a heck of a juxtaposition, man.
I mean, I imagine that procreation had a role to play in founding societies
Irrigation
across the nation, not just the United States, but yes, yeah.
Other places.
What is the name of that song?
My wife knows. She's told me. She's like, I can't believe you don't know the name of that song. I'm like, I don't know the name of that song.
It's a famous song. It's a very famous song.
There's a lot of famous songs that, like every song in Looney Tunes is famous, and they're these classical compositions. I don't know what they're called, man.
Okay, sing one, and then I will name it for you.
Well, how about the main?
Looney Tunes theme song.
No. So apparently, I believe it's actually called "The Merry-Go-Round Broke Down."
Oh.
I believe that is the title.
I think if you looked it up in Wikipedia, it would be like best known for being the Looney Tunes soundtrack or theme song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Another. Go. Test me. This is fun.
Dun, 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 dun. So what is that?
Oh, fuck. Why don't I know this name?
Yeah, I don't know the name. You don't know it.
Shoot, I do know. I used to know things.
All right, here's an easier one. How about do 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 do?
That's a waltz. It's not Skater's Waltz. What is it? Which waltz?
Blue Danube.
That's the Blue Danube. Okay,
so,
shoot.
Yeah.
Oh me.
Yeah, so see, there's all these songs that we know in our bones, but I don't know what they're called.
I was hoping you would do Ride of the Valkyries because everybody knows that one.
Yeah, that one's great.
Yeah.
And you would have been like, I know it.
I know that one song.
Therefore, I know them all.
I know them all.
And you're dumb.
I am a dumb. Speaking of Emma Dumb, have we introduced the internet to my friend Russell?
No, I don't believe we have. Would you like to introduce the internet to your friend Russell?
I found this rock outside, and it looked like a russet potato, and I call him Russell.
And
that's it.
And he came with the eyes, I'm guessing.
I mean, potatoes have eyes, Chris. Get with the program. Learn biology. No, he's been augmented.
And he's always
for the better.
He's always by your side.
Yes, he's always, well, not by my side, but on my desk. He's a good paperweight, let us say. And I gotta tell you, I didn't realize how terrific paperweights were until I had a bunch of papers on my desk, and I accidentally knocked them down. And I was like, God damn it! If only there were a better way.
Wait. So I usually thought that was because people had like windy spaces and it would keep it from blowing off. This isn't even wind. This is just you whooshing.
Just me like looking for stuff, because there are a lot of things on my desk. For instance, unrelated to Russell, googly eyes. I don't know why.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the eyes on Russell are not googly, right? They don't move, do they?
Oh, sir, they do.
Okay. Yeah, it was hard to tell from this angle.
Well, he's quite small.
Yeah.
Also, the eyes are. Is this helping? Helping?
Yeah, that is helping, actually. Yeah, now I see.
Is this helping? Yes, they're googly.
Good.
It's the little things, Chris. Sometimes it's the little things.
Keeps it going.
Yeah. It's all for Russell.
Do it for him.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for the Simpsons reference.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I always know you appreciate those.
I do. You're lighting up my life right now with the Simpsons references. And water, gosh, we're talking about terrific things. I want to come back to cold milk.
Okay,
I
yeah.
imagine
I don't
you
really have experience. Ironically enough, being an ice cream person who freezes milk, I don't have a lot of experience with cold milk.
Okay, well, I just want to talk about dairy in general I want to celebrate dairy. What a friend we have in cheese. Um, dairy can have its own song.
Yeah.
No, that's not very dairy.
I feel like it would have to be something implying like motherhood, right? Because milk is all about nourishing a baby inherently, but we're stealing it.
What's the one that goes da 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 da?
Yeah, no, that's a good one for this. I don't know what it's called. That's a good milk song.
Yeah, that's a good milk song.
Yeah.
Okay, we're so good at this. We should have our own advertising agency. We've got like and like it won't even be the song. We won't like get rights to a performance or anything. We'll just be like da 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 da. And then they're like, oh yeah, milk.
Yeah, I love
Definitely.
the idea of like people humming and that's actually one of my favorite things. I should do more of that. I used to have a couple songs where I just like hum and beatbox layers over each other.
Beatbox?
Yeah, just like make.
You can beatbox?
Not well, but I can do a percussive line, and
I would like to hear this.
I mean, the tradition
before I get back to dairy.
Like.
Okay, that's more. Now don't do that or something.
Boots and cats and boots and cats.
Did you say boots and cats?
Yeah. That's I believe the traditional starting.
I see boots and cats.
Yeah.
I can do. I don't know if that's a thing.
See, I think that sort of performance where you're just kind of saying it, and you can tell it's a person doing it, and they're not even doing it with much heart behind it. It sounds amazing, and you just layer like 3 or 4 of those, and it weaves all that mediocrity into something amazing.
I believe in you. I believe it. I can't wait for like last week we were gonna start like a games company, and this week we're gonna do an advertising agency. We can't be stopped.
No, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. But I just wanted to shout out to dairy because ice cream, obvi.
Yeah. But
have you met butter?
Butter is something else, man.
Good night. Damn, butter. You got me.
It's crazy.
I'm a fan.
I accidentally made butter once. And I didn't know that's how you literally just make it by you keep on mixing the milk and cream until it's too much, man.
Yes, I call it surprise butter when you whip cream too long, because it's like it's not what I wanted, but I'll take it.
Yeah, for anyone listening at home, like you can legit just make butter if you just keep mixing heavy cream. Too long past the cream phase, it gets chunky into butter. God. Honest butter. Weird.
Yeah, and I'm honestly like kind of like, oh shoot, how did this happen? Sometimes because I'm whisking by hand.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to whip cream into whipped cream. And then it's like somehow I just like go past the point of like a stiff peak, and then it's like, oh no, it's surprise butter.
Yeah, and I'm always worried about doing that when I'm making when we make our waffle cones. I start with actually egg whites and powdered sugar.
Ooh.
And it's kind of a meringue you start with. That does not turn to butter. But I'm always
don't give that everything away.
I'm afraid that it could. Like if I got to stop it right when it gets to stiff peaks, because if I don't, man, it's gonna clump up. I don't.
Do you do the thing where you hold the thing over your head?
No. What is that?
It's like on those baking shows. Whenever they're like beating something to a certain consistency, the test is if you hold it over your head, nothing drips down onto you. Correct.
Wow. No, I've never it would definitely flop on my head if I did that. At least the egg whites.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing, but
yes, just in general, if you're whipping something, to get it that stiff, that's mighty stiff.
Yes. Sorry. Eggs aren't dairy, just FYI. I don't know who was having this conversation the other day that eggs are
Dude,
dairy, but
we get it almost every week with vegans, and
huh.
like we have a dairy-free ice cream. The dairy-free ice cream, we use egg yolks to give it body, but it's made with coconut milk, coconut cream, sugar, and egg yolks. And so it
Uh-huh.
says dairy-free on the menu. This is a dairy-free thing. And people will order
Mhm.
it, and they'll be like, "This is great. I love that, eating vegan things." We're like, "Well, it's actually not vegan. It's
Yeah.
dairy-free." And they're like, "What do you mean?" We're like, "It contains eggs." They're like, "But eggs are dairy." I'm like, "No,
They're not.
no."
When does a cow lay the egg?
Yeah. And some people get very adamant about it. And to those people, I say, I do not care.
Oh, good for you. That's terrific. I would say, like, I understand the need for dairy free because a lot of people are lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Ben. And so that to me is like, it's just saying like dairy free, and then you'd have another sign that says vegan.
Yes. And you were thinking if you are vegan and you actually care that much, you would know the difference between those labels?
I don't know. I've never been vegan, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
But you think you would, if you cared, you might ask.
I think I've known someone who said they were ovo-lacto vegetarian, which turned out to be vegan.
Yeah. Well, I guess then they're like, but I can eat honey.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. That makes sense then.
Ovo-lacto vegetarian. Yeah, so that's just no milk, no eggs, but other stuff, I guess.
What other stuff?
What else?
The honey.
Honey, gelatin, perhaps. Gelatin.
Ooh, gelatin.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the most gruesome to me for some reason.
Oh, and
I'll grind your bones and bake my bread, said a giant.
yeah.
You know?
But also the least
Yeah.
because you've been dead a long time if your bones are being processed at this point, right? Like it's
okay.
it's using every part of the buffalo. Like if anything,
Okay, that's quite respectful.
yeah.
You know?
Like if I'm gonna kill an animal for its meat, I might as well use the bones and yeah.
Yes. Okay, fair.
Using every part of the buffalo, that's pretty terrific, I would say.
Terrific. Yes. Pemican. Would like to try. I have not had it.
What is pemmican? I'm not familiar.
Oh my goodness, sir. It is one thing that people would make out of the Native Americans would make out of buffalo is basically a buffalo jerky. And sorry, I have to correct myself. American bison, because they're not buffaloes.
Oh.
They're American bison.
Are there also buffaloes that are a different thing?
Yes. Have you ever seen a water buffalo?
Yes.
That's a buffalo.
Okay.
Those things that we have with the big humpy backs and the big funny faces.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of Guy from BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
The guy from BoJack Horseman is an American bison.
Okay. Which is not a buffalo. Like,
No.
buffalo is not like another name for that.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a misnomer.
Okay. Interesting.
But it's just that I encountered someone once who was rather adamant, like your friends at the ice cream shop, that dairy and eggs. Anywho, they're American bison, and they're not even buffalo. Anywho, pemmican
Yeah.
was made out of American bison, and it's basically jerky. They would dry it on the sun on big stretchers under the sun, and then they would eat it under long trips. And we learned that when I was a kid.
It does now that you mention it, it does vaguely ring a bell. But do you think it really tastes much different than the jerky you are accustomed to? Like, do you think bison tastes different drastically?
So I have had bison jerky, but I don't know how Native Americans were spicing it.
True. They might not have been. They didn't have access to the
Who knows?
They didn't have access to the East Indies, right?
Well, they had their own spices here, I imagine. And certainly they have salt, right? It's not like they were not familiar with the ocean. But who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Gosh, there's so much I don't know.
Yeah. It's great to not know. I mean, learning things is fantastic, and the fact that you can really never stop is amazing.
Yeah, I think your brain would cease to function if you had all information. It's just like, ugh. I don't know. Sometimes I'll say, sometimes there are things I don't wish I knew. I guess I wish I did not know.
Yeah.
That's how I would say.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's a limit. I don't need to know that.
There's a
Thank
limit.
you.
But
Yeah.
coming across like fascinating things, like this was something I was just thinking about Native Americans, and I was reading an article that someone was like, why did they never invent the wheel? And I'd never crossed my mind, like, oh my God, Native Americans did not have the wheel.
Did they?
No, they didn't.
Not?
Like
Why?
none of them, because the wheel did not spread to this continent until European settlers came. Apparently, this is what I've learned.
What?
Which is crazy, right? Like you think it's not that long ago. It's several hundred years ago. There was no wheel in North America. It's bonkers.
They just would carry stuff?
Yeah, carry stuff or drag things. But it's a big, technological progression leading to other types of machines and more free movement, and they didn't have that, and that's why their lifestyle was the way it was in a lot of ways.
What? How did they build giant pyramids, Chichen Itza, without wheels to drag stones around?
Well, so I don't know about South America and like Latin America. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
thinking mostly of like East
North
Coast,
America.
like North
Okay.
America.
Yeah, they didn't have any pyramids out here.
No, not many large structures at all. Like very few permanent structures.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
But I think, I don't know if we've talked about this. The hunter-gatherer lifestyle, people had more free time,
Yeah.
more leisure time. I'm about that life. That sounds great to me. Not that I'm in any shape to hunt or gather, but had I grown up in it, possibly would have been living a very different life. But it sounds chill bones in many ways. I don't know about this agriculture thing. I'm gonna put it out there. You know what? Maybe that's where we all went wrong.
Well, here's the thing. I think you're a little bit at odds because you were just singing the praises of dairy, and now you're like, maybe I want to hunt and gather. Screw agriculture. No, I don't think you get dairy when you're a hunter.
Can I bring a goat with me? I can't bring a goat with me everywhere.
I mean, I guess you could. Are you gonna
Yeah.
have it impregnated at all times and keep it lactating? I don't know.
I don't know. It could have a boyfriend. And you know what? Okay. And then we have meat. And they just hang with us. And we're just like roaming. Me and my goats. And yeah, we're chilling
Goat
out.
cheese is real good.
It is. It's like so good.
Also, cheese is probably not a hunter and gather thing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're probably going to be eating berries, and you're probably going to be eating lots of meat and berries.
And I'll be chilling out, reading books, hanging in a what's it called?
Hammock.
Yes. This sounds rad.
Yeah. And
Berries.
dying of dysentery is cool.
Okay. Fine. But I like the leisure time, Holmes. I think that would be really chill. And I got my tribe with me,
Yeah.
And loneliness is a killer. I'm just like spiraling right now.
Yeah.
I think it could be a nice way to live.
We actually got a chat. Somebody named Neo Plushie says, "So are you two meat eaters then?" And I think we can both equivocally say, yeah. We are.
Yes. How about you, Neo Plushie?
Yeah.
Are you a meat eater?
Yeah, we'll see if that comes through.
Yes. We enjoy the aminals.
We do, and only occasionally feel bad about that.
I don't know. I kind of feel bad about it because I do like animals very much, and I've definitely really cut back on my beef consumption just because, oy vey. But
Because you're part
yes.
Jewish now.
No, exactly. They can't a nice Sunday brisket. No, I just environment things. I don't know.
Yeah.
We do a lot of damage with cattle raising, and I come from like the Texas Panhandle, which was like 10% of the nation's beef goes through Amarillo, where it's the home to IBP, International Beef Packers.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Also, it has right nearby a place called Pantex, and since 1975, it has been the primary processing plant for anything nuclear, like armament in the United States. So people just don't know that much about the Panhandle of Texas, and I'm here to drop comments and news about what we're up to. Yes.
This has been
driving in the dark.
Your update on the Texas Panhandle. Yeah, driving in the dark with your eyes closed. You guys are nuts, man.
Not with your eyes closed. You don't have that. Doesn't do anything. It's simply dark. You turn out the lights and you drive straight. Also, cows don't like it when you tip them.
I can't imagine they would. No.
Yeah. No, they don't like it. And also, it's pretty dangerous. Cows are heavy. And you know what? It's hard to tell when they're asleep.
But I got a weird thing. Talk about meat. This is something. How do you feel about cannibalism, Marie? Because I think I'm kind of all right with the idea, given certain parameters. Like, I know some people are completely put off by it, but like, man, like part of me thinks. All right, I'll put this out there. This is okay. I'm gonna say this is weird.
Okay.
But I'm like,
I shared the shower teeth thing.
So when I die, I think it would be cool to be carved up into steaks and fed to my loved ones. Become a part of them.
This is how we get zombies, Chris. Chris.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not pro cannibalism.
Okay.
Prion diseases. They scare the life out of me.
I thought those were mostly involved with brain. Yeah, brain flesh.
But
like,
if you have but your whole flesh can be contaminated with prions.
And they are not killed by cooking?
No, nothing can kill them.
Okay,
like,
I got to learn about this more.
Yes. Oh my God, they're so terrifying. And it's like, I enjoy like oxtails, which are just like spine, and like cooking them. And it's like, do I have to stop eating oxtails because anything cerebral fluid could be infected with prions? And I wouldn't even know for a while until I'm just like, there are just giant holes tunneled through my brain.
It's just like some syphilis sort of things going on.
It's like prions are like, they're not, they're aliens as far as I'm concerned. They are just totally unspeakable death machines that can't be cooked, can't be fought. There's no they're not viruses, they're not bacteria. I don't know. That terrifies me. So I am anti-cannibalism. Save your brains, people. Mm-hmm. No kuru for Maribees. But okay, I respect whatever your end of life wishes might be.
Well, I mean, no one else is down with that other than me, so I think it's kind of a moot point. I don't think anyone I know would eat flesh. But if one of my friends was like, "Hey, I want you to make me into a burger," I'd be like, "I would do that for you." Yeah.
I think there are laws, though, Chris.
There are definitely laws. Yeah.
There are laws. I think there are laws, but I bet there's got to be some dark web site where this can all be figured out for you.
You ate human meat.
We call it the long pig or something else. Maybe there's, I don't know. In Fallout 76, there's a society called the Gourmands, and they eat people.
It just makes me think of that Sunny episode where Frank convinces
that's right.
them that they ate human meat. And I just love the way he delivers at the end. That wasn't human meat. That was raccoon meat. That coon meat is lousy with parasites. The way he says
yes,
lousy.
That's right. They think they're Wendigos or something.
Yeah.
Don't they?
No, well, they think that they just have the hunger for human flesh and nothing will satiate it. And I think we're cannibals now. And they go to a morgue and try to eat a person, but they can't commit to it. Yeah. And every time I see that scene, I'm like, I think I'd commit.
I'm learning something new about you today. Yeah. And you know what? Learning is terrific.
It is.
But did anyone respond to our meat eating? Because we've gone quite far from meat eating. Okay.
We've jumped into a whole new realm of illegal.
Yeah. Goodness. I fear prions like I might give up oxtails because I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, I got to study them because I didn't know I knew a lot about, the idea of eating brain is bad. Don't do that.
Word.
But prions, I got to see what that's. I mean, I'm never going to actually do this, but a lot of people, it's more that the idea is inherently off-putting to most people, and I've never felt that.
I can see. I can. Okay, first of all, Yellow Jackets. I imagine they eat people at some point. The people in that movie Alive, who are actual people
Yeah,
who had to eat to survive. I don't blame them. I'm not. I think it would just be very challenging for me. But I've never been that hungry,
right. Uh,
so who
have
knows?
you ever eaten an animal's flesh from its carcass, like directly, like a pig?
Without cooking?
No, with cooking. Like, have you ever been to like a pig roast? Because one time I had
Oh, of course.
a
I'm
fancy.
Filipino.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that's it brings you a step closer to the source of the meat than most people are, right? Like most people, they get it from this. They see meat and they see an animal and they're like, they're different, but they're the same. They are very much the same.
No, I mean I have definitely caught fish and then cleaned and eaten them.
Nice. You are hardcore, man.
Well, it doesn't seem that hardcore. I think a lot of people fish.
I think a lot of people do.
Um,
A lot of people in cities do not, though. And I've been a city boy my whole life, so like this is
Oh,
all kind of new stuff to me. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah, it's not that hard,
No. And
honestly.
I'd like to do it some
Scaling
more.
a fish
Yeah.
is like I don't know. Yeah, I don't try not to do like feathered things cuz that's like you got to pluck the feathers and that kind of
It's a
sucks.
lot of work.
And so I don't really remember like I was young when we did duck and I was like it was definitely delicious. And but yeah, I'm Filipino. We have a thing like called lechon, which is like a pig roast essentially. And yeah, you just have it on a spit
Yeah.
and then you pour beer on it all day, I guess, depending on how you prepare your lechon. And then you just like, seriously, you just like kind of walk up to it at some point and you can like peel some skin off and just eat it right off the pig.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're fine
Yeah.
with the skin and everything. Cool.
Skin is fucking amazing.
That's great.
Are you kidding? Yeah. Yeah. So yes, I have eaten straight off an animal.
Cool.
Or
A lot of people haven't, and I've only done it a couple times. And the time that is most like evocative in my mind was a pig roast, and it was actually in Manhattan, which is a weird place to have your first like, oh, you're eating a pig. But it was part of me was like, whoa, this is like sort of gory and sort of weird. But this is what meat is, and I should dive in, and I did.
what about crabs or lobsters or crayfish or shrimp?
Yeah.
That's a whole animal.
Yeah, I've eaten lobster, and like shrimp for sure, but it's not a thing I do a ton. Like, and honestly, it's one of those things where I think there's more work than it's worth for deliciousness. But
Okay. I mean, over the last week, I've had like a pound crawfish boil, and I'm just like, and they're itty bitty, and their tiny little tails are so much work, but it's worth it to me.
cool.
Num num, num num.
I think,
And then, of course, my vegetarian husband is like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think I'm mostly like pretty lazy when it comes to that stuff. There's layers of gray to all this.
Yes.
And I know my wife, like she loves pomegranate, but thinks it's too much work. She's like, I like the taste of pomegranate, but like you gotta pick out all those little seeds, and it's a pain in the neck. So she doesn't
I
typically
saw
do it.
a YouTube about how somebody just like cut it open and then banged it on a table, and then all the little seed guys fell out. And I'm like, what?
The drooplets.
Where has this been my whole life? It was pretty amazing. So I suggest YouTube because pomegranates are boss. But you can also like just buy like pomegranate doodads,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
at the store.
and that's what I've discovered. Like when we're working with mango, like there were a couple times I got fresh mango and carved them up, and it was a lot of work.
Nom, 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 nom,
It's
nom.
good,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a lot of work, and you can just get like chunk frozen mango, and it's very, very easy.
Yes.
Yeah, and cheaper usually.
Yes. But if you ever see like champagne mangoes or Manila mangoes, them's the primo mangoes. I mean, maybe I'm biased being Filipino, but those are the good ones.
Yeah.
I prefer them. They're less fibrous than like Mexican mangoes.
Which is probably what I've been getting.
Yeah, I could go for one. They're very sugary though. Speaking of like sugary fruits, they're very sugary and sweet.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm yum. I want one. I want to take you fishing now. I don't. The thing is, it's like I don't know a body of water where I would trust the safety of the water, so that I would eat the fish at this point. Because yeah,
Well, maybe not around LA, and probably not around like The New York.
Philly.
But there are vast swaths of rural
Land.
Pennsylvania
Yes.
that
Okay.
there's a lot, and we have Maryland is just south of us. And
Crabs, man.
crabs, go crabbing. I have gone crabbing and caught crabs, and we
Okay.
ate the crabs, so that was good.
There you go. Yeah,
Crabbing was fun as a kid. Like, it's pretty terrific. Have you ever done it specifically? Because like, it's all about like you drop a little like mesh net and you put
Yes.
a fish head on it, and they all
or like chicken.
yeah.
You can put like chicken parts in there. Yeah.
They climb all over.
Go
You just
down
pull it
the-
up. You're like, I got a net full of fish.
Yum
of
yums.
crab.
Yes, I've done all kinds of weird fishing and eating things.
It's awesome.
I don't know.
See,
I think it's just sort of the way my parents grew up also was like, let's eat things. My dad, speaking of goats, he was given a pet goat, so he thought when he was a kid. And then they're like, let's eat this goat. And he was like, no way. And then he release the goat and went to the movies. And he got in trouble.
What?
And they ate the goat anyway.
Wait, so he escaped the goat. He like set it free.
Yes.
And then was
Yes.
like, now I'm gonna go watch Star Wars or something.
Yes. Or whatever.
Whatever it was in the 1930s.
50. It's not quite that old.
He went to go watch
but,
a talkie.
Yes. A nickel. For a nickel, he could watch all afternoon. Yeah. No, and it's not like they were out in the countryside, really. They lived in a town. But he just had land in that town. So it's like, there's like a goat in town, I guess.
Was that in Texas as well?
No. He grew up in the Philippines.
Oh, in the Philippines. Okay.
Yes. So in Tabaco. I don't know if you're familiar. In the Bicol region of the Philippines.
Dude, Philippines has a lot of regions. They are.
And a lot of languages.
It's like 1,000 islands, right?
Hey, there you go. And like 137 different languages or something spoken there. So yes, it's a diverse place.
Yeah. Yell at your neighbor
Let's go.
across the way, and they don't know what you're saying.
Like what? What? No.
You talk
No, it's
stupid.
regional dialects. It's regional dialect, so hopefully, like
There's a little bit. Okay, yeah.
yeah, they would all speak Bicol, and like my father growing up, I think spoke Spanish and English, Bicol, and then like Tagalog, which is like the national language, is probably his worst language. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me think of like just like regionalisms. Like I think region to region in the U.S., it's amazing that we can understand each other because the way people talk is so different. Like the pronunciation, the words are the same largely, but like the pronunciation's so different. And you listen to in context, I hear like someone from Philly who's like a blue collar Philly person just talking, and it's got this slur. And it's just like, wow, somebody not from this region probably can't make out all these words. Or
please demonstrate.
I see on the spot. Like I probably do it all the time on the fly, but like right on the spot, man, I'm actually not really great at it. Yeah.
I find that when I'm around other people from the South, I can go right back into it because you're surrounded by it, and maybe it's a little code switching, but it's definitely like empathy, right? You try to mimic the accent.
Definitely.
But like when I try to do it, this like normal talking, it's just, what am I?
Yeah, it sounds
foghorn, leghorn.
It sounds really false. Yeah,
Yeah.
My wife, when we bring her down, she's from Northern Virginia and went to school in Virginia. And when we bring her down there, after she hangs out with her friends for a little while, she develops a twang. It comes back in, and I'm like, look at you. You're talking different. It's in there. She's like, oh, I am? I'm like, yeah, man, you like code switch pretty hardcore, and you're not even aware of it necessarily. It's just naturally happens, and that's what makes it sound right? Because you're not conscious of it. It's hard to perform on command.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah, I should work on it too, because I want to come in here with a real good Philly drawl.
Yeah. So like I saw this thing about Super Bowl ads because this is good research for our agency. That Bradley Cooper's mom was in a commercial with him, and people were like, best Philly accent on TV, and I was just like, I don't hear it.
Like you didn't hear any accent.
I mean, she talks like a lady.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
Nothing about it was distinctly Philadelphia to me, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say that one time one of Ben's colleagues was married to a man from a very specific area in Massachusetts. And for the life of me, every time he spoke, I just could not get over it. Like I thought he was putting us on, but like forever.
Yeah.
Like, wow, what a deep cover this guy. He's always in character. It was remarkable.
Yeah. I felt that way when I went to visit Boston, went to a PAX East, and hearing people in like South Boston talk, it sounds fake. It sounds like something, it's a cartoon character. It's like, people don't really talk like that, do they? And they all are. And it's like, this is legit. And I would love just to sit on the street and just listen to people there. Because it's such, I'm going to say, it's a ridiculous accent. And I love it. But, dude.
Whoa, hot take.
Boston people, man.
We should go on tour.
Yeah.
You know, and of just this, and we'll be like sitting outside and be like, listen to this guy.
Well, listen to that one. Let's hear. Oh man, yeah, that's a good one.
Say coffee.
Say park the car. Do it.
No. That's I imagine people don't like to do that anymore.
No, well, they still say it.
Yes. The thing that always is like baffles me is that England has so many accents, and it's such an itty bitty place, and they're so distinct, and most people can tell what they are. And how does that happen?
Well, another thing, like my wife likes to impress upon me. She dabbles in learning about the British aristocracy, and they have lots of. Basically, their whole society has been founded upon the idea of years of making it easy to determine who's rich and who's poor. And
great.
So they develop their own sets of manners and their own sets of highly codified ways of speaking. And these things just kind of go on and on and on. And there's sharp divisions. It's like, well, if you talk like that, you're obviously lower class. If you talk like that, you're upper class. And you need to enunciate.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so a lot of it is cultural in that they're trying to impose, we are different than those people, and therefore we will act very different. We will speak different, right?
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I heard that classism is still very much a thing in England, but, I figured sort of like America, where it's like everybody on the TV talks the same.
Yeah.
It just kind of bleeds into your life. And I had always just assumed, well, maybe the Brits don't watch as much television. But it sounds like it is for a purpose.
Well, or it originally was that purpose, and then it's just a family thing. Like, you learn how to speak from your family largely, and the people who are around you in your neighborhood, and you still pick up. Like, I'm curious the same way, because people on TV largely talk the same, and they used to talk even more the same. There was the transatlantic dialect, and that's how everyone spoke on, because it was the only way to tell what the heck people were saying on the radio. But there's still dialects and regionalisms, and I think that's still the case. We don't learn to speak entirely from television yet, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe you and I didn't, but we'll see for the Chillins how they adapt to the internet. I don't know. I really don't know. Well, I don't have a Filipino accent, that's for sure. So I grew up with my parents ish, and
well, and you don't sound particularly Texan either, right?
No. And I don't think that many kids, I don't think that many of the people I interacted with had like a heavy accent.
Oh, so
really.
They didn't have a Texas twang either.
So I will say this. I grew up in a town that had the largest inland oil refinery in the United States. And I've mentioned Pantex already. So I think people think of Texas Panhandle and they think we're lots of cattle and alfalfa, but no, there were a lot of chemical, mechanical, and nuclear engineers. And a lot of those people came from all kinds of places around the United States. So many of the individuals with whom we were interacting, their parents came from different places. So they spoke with their parents' accents. My parents had, their social circle was like all Filipino doctor people, so highly educated Filipinos who spoke English rather well.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really interesting how you're influenced by so many different things, and so you can't necessarily pinpoint. Well, like that person from there, so they're going to talk exactly like this, or their
Yes.
racial background is this, so they're going to talk like that. Like you can't really guess.
I will say that there was a phrase that I'd say, and I was broken of this habit. I in my 20s used to could. I would say that. Well, you used to could drive past this and then take a left,
Yeah.
but they moved it, and my husband brought that to my attention that I would say used to could.
I love that.
Um,
No, that's really good. Yeah.
yes.
You should bring it
The
back,
one. Okay.
man.
Maybe I will. Here's the thing. I don't know if this is a regionalism, but pronounce this word: apprecciate.
I'm sorry, spell it again.
Apprecciate.
Appreciate. Or appreciate.
Thank you.
Appreciate?
No, go fuck yourself. No, wrong.
Appreciate. Yeah, I would say appreciate.
Appreciate. Oh, I don't know what it is, but people say appreciate a lot.
Appreciate.
And I can't stand it.
Yeah.
It just like immediately, it's like the sound of styrofoam. Oh.
Some people in my family will say appreciate. Yeah.
And that's how you know they're bad. Maybe they're the ones who'd eat you.
Well, then I'd be down with it. Be like, all right, here you go.
Okay, well, they're outliers.
Use every part of my buffalo.
Except the brain and the spinal column.
Yeah. Well,
okay,
you can use that for fertilizer somewhere else. I don't know. What do you think you can do with brains
out there?
Can you do anything with brains? Like,
I don't know.
What do they do with cow brains? They must do something.
Fucking incinerate them? Jeez. Just prions, bro. I don't know. What
they sound like
do
evil versions of tardigrades, like unkillable tiny creatures.
Yes, but not cute.
Not cute. Tardigrades are cute then.
I mean, yeah, they're little teddy bears.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen them?
Yeah, water bears, is what they are colloquially called. Although it's funny because it's not like people could see them. Like they're colloquial. They're called, no one saw them but scientists in a microscope. So what's the colloquialism?
Maybe it's a euphemistic phrase for them, not a colloquial.
Anyone who owns a microscope, like, oh, look at that cute little water bear.
Whoa, no. Yes.
Surviving in the vacuum of space, all so cute.
Good for you, buddy. Oh, take out your picnic basket.
Yeah, so I was hoping it was going there. Yogi, I don't know.
Run, boo, run. Wow, we spent an hour doing this.
Yeah, we did. It was a good one. This one got weird.
How we were like, I don't know. Yeah, we got very weird. We're gonna eat Chris.
Officially, no, but unofficially, just
pemican.
We'll write that into the part of the will that's not in the will.
Yeah. Ooh, can it be written on the back of the? Wait, it has to be. Wait, Philly. Inside the Liberty Bell.
Oh yeah. We got to do a
like
national treasure sort of thing.
Yes, that's what I'm trying for. Yes. See?
And it wouldn't be too hard to get a message inside the Liberty Bell because you can get pretty close to it in there.
Word.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh,
now we have a caper to plan.
Oh, we have so many adventures ahead of us. I'm so excited for us and the many adventures we'll take with the person who doesn't really go anywhere and Chris, who's on the other side of the country.
And my whole scheme to write a secret will about cannibalism and our advertising agency.
Our advertising agency, our game development company, and our man on the street, show us your weird accent thing.
Yes. Oh.
Yes, so many keepers and adventures.
So terrific.
Yes. Friendship is terrific.
Well, thank you anyone who's watching out there. And
that one person who commented.
Thank you, Neo Plushie, for asking one question. That's great.
And then bouncing.
No worries.
Okay.
You guys have a great week, and we'll see you later.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.